edition of the MMA Analysis podcast. I am your host, Lance Fishel. We had an underwhelming, I would say, end of the pay-per-view last week. And we have possibly the worst card ever until next week. So a lot of fun stuff to talk about. And I put my name as this rock bottom. And I mean, God, I hope so. I hope these next 2 weeks of the UFC schedule are rock bottom, because I'm finding it hard to be worse. I guess we were pretty close to Wellington Turman being in a main event of a UFC card, but here we are. So we'll break down UFC 271 before jumping into the card. But Nushan, how are you doing today?
I mean, I'm pretty sure we were talking about rock bottom a good 3, maybe 5 weeks ago. So I mean, it's cyclical.
Yeah.
Set many new lows over the past year.
Oh, it's fucking bad.
Yeah, it's really impressive if you think of when we complained 3 years ago about bad cards, and then compare that card to Wellington Turman main event.
So close. So close.
So, yeah. Wes, how are you doing? You got the purple thing on? It's rocking and rolling?
Man, I don't know, bro.
The trees are growing.
I ordered a little shitty camera, so at least won't be purple here for too long. Doing good, man. Yeah, staying busy. Little man's keeping me on my toes. Yeah, couple weeks out to Vegas, so
Oh yeah.
Things are
2
looking
weeks.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 weeks. Yeah, I'm leaving on. You get there Thursday, right?
Yeah, I'm coming in Thursday. There's a bunch of us coming in Thursday.
Yeah, more people are going in Thursday. I'm going in Friday. Just I was in Vegas for 6 days in October, so I think 3 days is plenty. And then I go to Scottsdale right when I get back. So I went with the Friday versus Monday.
I'm taking as many days as I can get, bro. As many as I can get out the house as I can get.
Well, my Scottsdale trip, I'm going right when we get back from Vegas. We get back Monday night, and I leave Wednesday at 7 a.m. But Helena's coming with me, so it makes it's easier. I couldn't do both by myself, and then I'd be yelled at and all that. But it's a work trip, and we can bring a spouse on it, so it should be fun. It's 80 in Scottsdale already, I think. So might even get some chicken parm.
Well, I mean, just don't watch your beer can on the green, bro. Just watch your fucking beer cans.
That was a crazy tournament. My last 3 weeks of golf bets are almost impossible to believe with what I had on Sunday afternoon to what happened. I'm owed 2 or 3 winners.
You are. I finally got one. I've had, I think 2 guys going into the lead on Sunday already twice that just absolutely melted.
Yeah.
And finally got one. But yeah, you've had guys that 2 or 3 dudes.
Yeah. I had 3 weeks in a row, I had a guy that had a minus sign next to his name on a Sunday and lost all 3 weeks. And this week I had Brooks, Xander, Matsuyama, and Homa, who were all top 6 at one point on Sunday. And then I had Spieth when I got beat by my boy Tom Hoagie.
Yeah.
And then the week before that, I forget what it was. I had someone else. I think I had Rom and someone else, and it was just. So anyway, we're due. It's Riviera week, so I'm happy. But we won't talk too much about golf. Brad, how are you doing today? Camera, is your internet improving?
It's Justin Trudeau's fault. He came in and he did some authoritarian marital law and he stole my internet. So if that's what's going on, it's his fault. Wes, your camera's fixed.
It goes in and out.
For a couple seconds.
It's got to be.
I'm just happy that I mean, I think I said it last week, man. These truckers up there showing y'all what freedom looks like. It's a wonderful thing, man.
Freedom awesome. Costs $1.05.
I mean, I love that we're the ones that are bankrolling most of it. It shows you how much our freedom from America can extend.
You want to spread your freedom all around
the world.
Oh, Wes, you saw we have great timing for our Vegas trip, right? They dropped the mask mandate 6 days ago.
Yeah, I mean, that was going to be. Yeah, I mean,
trust me, when you are in Vegas, out in a casino for 14 hours drinking, the last thing you want in your face is a mask.
Is a mask.
I did that for 6 days. It was not good. This is wonderful news.
I'm getting new AI implanted tomorrow, so I'm gonna be chipped up. I'm getting my chip boosted tomorrow. So
Ooh. How many?
fucking ready.
Is this your 4G or your 5G or your 6G?
This is 6. Like I'm literally gonna counting cards. I'm literally gonna be able to see through the cards.
No stopping you.
Oh God, I'm excited for Vegas. It should be fun. I went to Fremont Street last time. It was the last night. I somehow got dragged to Fremont Street. I was at like 3 Queens, which is like the worst casino maybe in Vegas, in old Vegas, and Fremont Street at 1 a.m. And I would swear to God I was playing craps with homeless people. Like it was like me and my buddies and like 3 or 4 homeless people. I think I staked a guy $50 by accident. It was not a good night.
I mean, how else is a homeless person supposed to get a house in Vegas? You gotta go make that money real quick. Nobody's gonna hire them. It's America.
I do what you gotta do. Anyway, so yeah, if anyone's in Vegas while we're out there, let us know. All right, let's go ahead and jump into UFC 271 last week.
You're over the AIDS, Lance?
Yes, I was fine. I was not sick, but I'm sure I will be soon.
Also,
just because
it's a ticking time bomb.
Before we jump into the recap, talk about Sean.
Oh, yes. I tweeted it yesterday, and I know a bunch of us tweeted it, but for you guys who have been long-term listeners, our former co-host, Sean Baby Dick Carey, he actually has cancer right now, and he's fighting cancer, and is because of the great American healthcare system, when you get cancer, despite having insurance, you get absolutely buried. So he did have to start a GoFundMe. He's self-employed. He owns a tattoo shop. So it's not like a company's insurance thing. He's recovering, and he's going through chemo and all that good stuff, but he does have a lot of bills, so he has a GoFundMe. So I've tweeted that out. I'll tweet it again. And maybe we'll put it in the show link this week when we tweet it out as well. So if you do have some spare change, some money you want to donate, it would be greatly appreciated. And like I said, for you longtime listeners, Sean was a co-host for probably 5 years on the MMA Analysis. He's the one that had the crickets in his house where he was just crushing some heaters. That was Sean. So if you do have some money, please help out.
Now, Sean is in his 40s now.
Yeah,
is he?
Not 30.
Oh
yeah, he's my age.
Yep. I'm just a young pup,
How pumped are you to see the full head tattoo once he loses the hair though?
I don't know. I don't know if we'll ever see it. He probably wears a hat.
Bam Bam Bigelow, baby,
I can't wait, man.
Out.
I asked him how it's going not being able to smoke cigarettes was the first question I think I asked him. That guy
just dipping like a motherfucker, just has been in all day.
I don't think dipping would be good for his situation.
No, not good for your throat either. But
so, but yeah, if you guys do have some spare money and want to donate, please do that. We'd really appreciate it. All right, now let's move over to UFC 271. We'll go through this rather quickly. There were some okay moments, I guess, but I don't know. The main event it wasn't the co-main that sucked. It was just the main event. The co-main sucked for me. But as far as one fun fight, the main event was brutal. We'll get into it in a minute. Starting in the heavyweight division, we had Maxim Grishin defeating our boy Thick Willie, who was super thick. Super thick Willie.
That was a bloated Willie. That was an STI in there.
That was not good.
He did not do the hog weight cut this fight. That's for sure. That thing at least drains 15 pounds. So
that was not good. Grishin's not very good. He didn't really do it. And the fight was absolutely brutal. Willie didn't attempt to win the fight at any moment. Like, usually if you see a guy miss weight by 10 pounds, and like Willie, he's not like this great cardio guy. Usually you got to come out like a bat out of hell and try to win the fight. And he decided it's going to hang out.
Yeah, he didn't even try and like hold him up against the cage or anything.
That was coasting for 3 rounds.
Yeah,
that was bad.
He legit showed up to take a short notice fight to look good for the UFC and get a check real quick. Absolutely.
That
backfired.
I mean, the dude, I think he said on his Instagram though that he still cut like 20 something pounds like that in like 2 weeks or something. Like he still cut a ton of weight.
Or 242 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's thick. He's not a short notice opponent. He needs some time to get that hog down.
Highly accurate.
He might want to get less fat just for the future.
Yeah,
All
he looked pretty soft. He did look soft.
He did not look good in any way. Welterweight division, Jeremiah Wells defeated Mike. I don't even remember his name. Who gives a shit? Technical submission round 1. Wells looks pretty good.
The guy he's fighting has no ground game.
No, but Wells
He's a
kickboxer.
He
looks the part. Wells looks the part. He seems like he's got some skills.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what he does.
He beat Marley on a debut and then performed like this. Like I'm intrigued. Like dude's got some skills.
He's good.
I'm more impressed by the Warley win than this one.
Most definitely.
He actually struggled quite a bit to do that based on like the guy he was fighting was just a pure kickboxer who had trained MMA for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, but he's still got to finish early, look good. He did what he has to do. He now has just as many finishes as Bobby Green does in the last decade in that one fight. He actually has more finishes than Bobby Green in his UFC career of 2 fights than Bobby has in his last 15. So he's got that going for him already. All right, let's move on now to the next fight, this was an amazing fight. Douglas Silva de Andrade versus Sergey Morozov. Submission second round. I wasn't on the show last week. I know what you guys bet. I had Andrade as a full bet here, plus 195. That was just an absolutely insane line. Even when he was getting pounded out and just embarrassed in that first round, I was like, this guy is such a fucking lunatic. If you don't get him out of there, like, fucking watch out. And then just came back in round 2 and just demolished him. And a lot of people were complaining that he went for the sub and he should have kept pounding him. It's hard for those guys not to do what they always do, right? And I think his jiu-jitsu is good enough where he made the call. I know with Dubronx, that's what he does most of the time too. Throughout, he'll grab a neck, and a lot of guys are like that. But hell of a win. I mean, that was solid. I'll always take a plus 195 early in the card.
Yeah.
I was too big of a pansy. I think I was the only one that didn't bet him. I picked him, but I didn't bet him.
I would have talked to you. How do you pick? All right.
God damn it, Lance.
I thought
because I pick him in Toutmaster because I'm not gonna bet every dog that I pick in Toutmaster.
But you picked him to win. You thought he would win the fight?
I thought there was a chance that he did, but I bet other shit on that shit.
You thought he would win.
Yeah,
so 51.
That value was just Yeah. Now you can get his.
I was worried he was gonna get old. The dude is like 36, 30.
I would have thought he'd win.
He probably literally torched 3 toilets in that building before he came out. Like he was pissing fucking.
He had armpit veins.
I didn't figure that one out.
It's almost my fault because I 100% would have talked you into making that the consensus pre-show.
Yep.
Well, we would have done Thick Willie as Munich.
Sadly.
Yeah, and then we would have bet Andrade for consensus, and we would have won another consensus. So really, you kind of cost us bad last
Or we
week
would have done Arlovski decision, but Lance wouldn't have let us do that.
No, he wouldn't have let us do that. So
why would I do that?
Because it's a winner.
I'd rather not win than play a decision prop. I'm no pussy.
That's why
play
you're
that game.
Amazing gambler.
I don't do that.
That's how easy MMA is to beat. Lance will not take decisions and overs on principle and still
win.
Fucking makes money
been one of
easily.
The best bets. It's been one of the best bets you can make in like the past 2 years.
We'll get there.
Nah, can't do it. What if he catches him?
those are heavyweights in there.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on. Jacob Malkoon defeated AJ Dobson. Just I could barely pay attention. This was dreadful. I have nothing to add here. Nothing.
He's boring.
It was not good. I did not.
Dobson should have done better. That was not a good look.
Yeah, I did not enjoy that. Bantamweight division, Ronnie Lawrence defeated Martinez, decision 29-27, 27-28. Lawrence looked good till he didn't. Kind of scary what happened that
got
third
a little
round.
sketchy.
That wasn't cool. I didn't like
props.
But
I gave him props for like staying in that though. A lot of dudes would have been done. Like
he was done.
Well, not just staying in it, but like actually fighting back and
taking over. I mean, he took back over. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That was impressive. Like, Lawrence to me seemed. I was shocked. That guy never wrestled. He didn't even wrestle in high school. Like it's weird how good of a wrestler he is. But he seems to have mastered MMA wrestling, and his striking I actually thought looked a little bit better in the first 2 rounds. This guy's he can put it together, and it'd be interesting to see, especially in those lower weights, like how does he do against actual like big time wrestlers? like the Division I guys and the really strong wrestlers in the division. Like if he's not able to get fights to the ground or kind of, dictates where it goes. But he does seem like he has a good skill set. It does still worry me about his wrestling credentials being a wrestler, but he looks pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Light heavy division, Carlos Ulberg defeated Fabio Serrant. I took a shot on Serrant sub. I felt like I just had to.
Yeah.
All these guys almost talked me into taking that last week, and I dodged that one.
Well, it's funny. I had Snell sub at like 11-1 or something like that, and then that got knocked off, and I was like, "Fuck it, I'll just do Serrant sub," because I was looking at that anyway. Not great. Ulberg is just brutal to watch. Like the Lawrence fight was decent, but there were some bad fucking fights on this card. Like, man, there was like 4 or 5 unwatchable fights on this card.
Serrant just didn't want to fight, and Ulberg was like, "Oh, I tried to smash a dude last time, couldn't get it out of there, and almost died as a result. So I'm just gonna fucking coast." And Serrant wasn't gonna do anything about it.
Sucked. Fight sucked.
Bad.
Yeah,
So
I thought we sneaked in a really good prop there, and it just that guy's
Not even
trash.
close.
He is trash.
No fat parlay.
All right, next we go to bantamweight. Kyler Phillips defeated Marcelo Rojo. Triangle armbar, 3rd round. Everyone kind of stepped back off the Phillips hype train, I would say, but the fight, even though he's not facing a good guy, but he has the skill set that this guy has. Like this guy, sometimes you get a loss earlier in your career, but Phillips just seems like the goods to me. Like when I watch him, like just how he does things, his striking, his wrestling, his jiu-jitsu, everything else. Like Phillips he seems like he's got it. We'll see what he does when he steps up again, but Phillips just seems like he's got everything you need to be a top 10 guy.
Felt like he could have grappled earlier in this fight. He probably could have finished it a lot sooner.
Probably.
But he's fun on the feet. Obviously, he'll have to tame the spinning shit a bit once he steps up in competition. But
yeah,
he still throws fucking wicked strikes and has. I mean, I guess we'll see what that cardio's like because it wasn't too much coming back the other way.
It did look like it held up a little better for sure.
When there's a little more resistance, I guess we'll find out. But he's got unreal skills.
Yeah. I mean, his bad fight was going a little too nuts and beating the shit out of top 15 flyweight.
Yeah.
Where he should have got a draw.
A 10-8. Yeah, and a draw.
And ended up getting a loss. And that's his bad performance.
Yeah.
So,
well, it's hard to. Well, I think he beats a guy in Song Yadong who's good, and then he loses the Paiva fight. Everyone was like, "What?" So it's kind of it was confusing. But sometimes you need that to kind of help you, in your career early on, that you can't just do the same exact thing and go balls to the wall and everything else. So I think Phillips will be good. I'm still pretty high on him. All right, women's flyweight, Casey O'Neill defeated Roxanne Modafferi. Everyone acted like Modafferi is some fucking legend. I don't understand. She sucks. She's always sucked. She's never been good. And there's now one less women's fighter on the roster. So, yay.
You wish. They're replacing her instantly. This O'Neill is
terrible,
okay, I guess. Modafferi likes getting punched in the face, and the judge who scored it for Modafferi needs to be shot.
That was bad.
He had back-to-back fucking banger scorecards.
What else did he have?
Dude's a literal rocket
one.
Scientist with fucking had judged like 6 UFC fights, but he's an actual rocket scientist.
Yeah.
And had like 2 of the worst cards you'll ever see in your life.
I think Aaron said that he sent us the thing that said he was a rocket scientist.
Yeah, no,
just because you're smart in your day job doesn't mean you fucking can obviously judge fights. It's brutal.
The fight sucked though. Like, I guess to me, it's like when a fight is that bad, maybe I just don't pay attention enough to give a shit what the judges say. It's so bad. All right, let's move up. Heavyweight division. Speaking of bad, Andre Arlovski defeated Jared Vanderaa, split decision. Arlovski he might be the most unwatchable person in the sport at this point.
That's because you haven't been betting him by decision like the other 2 guys on the podcast every fucking fight.
Take betting out of it. Just watching.
You cannot take betting out of it because you wouldn't watch 2/3 of these fights if there was no betting going on.
True, but can you think of, is there a more boring fighter that we have to watch more often than Arlovski?
I thought Bobby Green was the most boring fighter.
No, I never said Bobby Green was the most boring fighter. I said Bobby Green objectively sucks at fighting. That is a big difference. I didn't say he was boring. I said he sucks at fighting. Arlovski also sucks at fighting, but he's old and people don't act like he's good. But man, Arlovski to me is the hardest guy in the UFC to watch. I can't think Adesanya because his fights are 10 minutes longer.
You had 3 fucking bangers on this card, Lance.
This card sucks.
This was specifically for you. This card. This was your Valentine's Day present from the UFC.
I bet on Adesanya, so I was okay with the result. But I watched that guy fight, and I am just miserable. Every second I watch Adesanya fight is punishment. I go, I paid for this. That's all I think.
I enjoy him more because he annoys the fuck out of you.
That is the most enjoyable thing about Adesanya to me.
But
yes,
why do people think he's a fun fighter? Like Wes, you used to like Adesanya. I assume you hate him now because you get it. There's no way to watch that fight and most of his fights and go, yeah, this is fun. This is the goods. Like this is what I pay for. I love this. This dancing, jabbing, sparring.
I enjoy watching Adesanya, but like. I wouldn't prefer to be watching that. It's like there's definitely
you would prefer whoever he's fighting to actually want to engage and fight, and then it would be a fun Adesanya fight.
You cannot blame the worst guy. You can't blame the challenger who's not as good.
Yeah, they got to go.
They bring it. Fucking
why does Adesanya not think he has to fight?
I don't because it's worked so far. Because it's worked so far.
Oh. It's fine.
He did it against Romero, and he did it on this fight.
Why are we putting him on pay-per-views? Put him on, can we bring back, Facebook fights and let him fucking headline that?
Oh, I love that on the Facebook.
Lance is so salty that he absolutely mopped the floor with his buddy fucking Lil Drunk. He is so salty. No. You hated him. It was bad. It was bad before then, but you've taken it to another level since he absolutely waxed your buddy.
What's something that's happened since that fight? What has happened since that fight? What, Brad, you answer this. Since the Costa fight, how would you describe Adesanya?
Is that did he lose to Jan after that fight?
Yeah.
Take that one out. Let's look at his last 2 titles. That was fun, yeah.
I enjoyed
Let's look at his last 2 title defense. What's the difference of his last 2 title defense and then
if Vettori had more than 4 brain cells, he might have been knocked out in that fight. But he has an absolute meathead.
So,
my favorite part of that one. Oh, go ahead.
You're delayed. It's making it very hard for us. We're not trying to interrupt you. So the last 50 minutes I have watched of Adesanya in this division have been 50 minutes of absolutely fucking nothing. Nothing. I don't know if there was 10 exciting seconds in the last 50 minutes of this guy.
I know you would much rather him be a wrestler and take him down and hump him on the ground, but unfortunately,
he's not talented enough.
I do get that, but then what do we say about Whitaker? You're a bum. You're boring. Bring the fight. You're fighting.
The hilarious thing is,
then fucking Vettori. You're an idiot. You're a bum. You're fighting for
no one finishes Vettori. No one finishes barely anybody finishes Whitaker. Nobody finishes YOLO.
Izzy's the only guy that finishes Whitaker.
Yeah, that was before. Now Adesanya has no interest in fighting. He doesn't try to hurt people. He does nothing, and then he talks after the fight.
You know who's gonna
prime Anderson?
I do agree that he is. He doesn't go for the shit he used to now. Yeah. That he's got the belt and shit, and I get it. I get why too.
One
knockout loss, and he's literally Dana's like,
that already happened.
I don't know if
he's got a great chin though. He's fine.
He has been knocked out before in kickboxing.
I don't get why he doesn't get. I don't get why he doesn't get a little bit of props. He lost to Jan, but he did have the balls to go up and fight some big fucking.
He also won 2 rounds
and take the fight. Who else is doing that? People are running from fights like that.
I know. And hey, Lance, I guarantee you.
Go up a weight class. Everyone's
so-
trying to go up a weight class.
Okay, Lance, can we have a bet that the next fight that he has, if it's against Cannonier, it'll be a fun fight because Cannonier is not gonna fucking
7.5 minutes.
That's what I'm saying,
he's
man.
gonna knock
Or a
he's
dead
gonna-
body.
He's gonna knock out
Cannonier's
body.
gonna grab his crystals, get in that cage, and run towards Adesanya, and
get
Adesanya is
knocked-
gonna
and get
light
knocked
him
out.
the fuck
Yeah,
up,
he
and it's
is.
gonna be awesome.
Cannonier's gonna destroy him.
Wrestling.
Oh, Bradley. Oh, Bradley.
Anyway, enough about Adesanya. You guys just admit to me there's no way to enjoy his last 2 fights, even
We're
a
gonna
fucking
enjoy.
minute.
We're gonna enjoy his next
I-
fight.
I will say he hasn't been as is enjoyable these past couple fights. Absolutely not.
No enjoyment. That was
So,
pain.
let's just talk about the main event now, since we're doing
We
it.
already did. It's over.
We
I
already
know.
did.
But it's like he had his one good round, and by one good round I mean one good punch,
One punch.
and then he did not land a hard punch for the next 20 minutes. Legitimately.
I mean,
He sucks.
I mean,
Nothing
Whitaker
big.
wasn't near him the whole time. He was running.
So, one thing I'll say about this Adesanya run and people acting like he's the greatest 185 and blah, blah, blah. What's the the one biggest difference now of 185? 185 used to be like a grappler's paradise. When you looked at all the great guys at 185 from the past, decade or so, you had Chael, guys like Rockhold, guys like Weidman. There are no fucking good grapplers, wrestlers in the entire division. So maybe that's another reason I just can't respect Izzy's, besides the boring part, respect his greatness. He hasn't faced a good grappler, and it's not his fault. There are none. Weidman's probably still the best grappler at 185.
I don't think you can say that middleweight's a grappler's division. Like, it went from Anderson Silva from forever.
But
and
but
then
after
took a
Anderson,
detour
that
for a
run.
couple guys. Yeah, I know, but it changed hands. Like, nobody really held the title. for
Nobody
a long
held
period of
it.
time.
Like Weidman won the rematch, and
There-
then
But the champions and top level guys for a decent period of time were wrestlers. They were grapplers, those kind of guys. 185 now is just, it's kind of shitty for one. When Marvin Vittori's top 3 in a division, you got a fucking problem.
Steve,
Comparing-
I think our
comparing-
boy Steve's on the right track. He's saying Andre Muniz will be the guy to get his.
You know,
I
I
can
like
see it.
that.
Yeah.
never know.
Comparing-
There you go, a
comparing-
grappler.
comparing
Weidman's
Izzy,
coming back.
comparing Izzy already to like Anderson, not like
Oh, that's dumb.
forget Anderson's run, just the way he beat guys. Like, there's no comparison at this point, man. Like, I love Izzy. Stop with that shit. Like, Anderson was just, he was different, man. He's fucking probably top 3 all time. Like,
Anderson had some snoozer fights.
He had
too.
some bad-
Let's
Yeah,
not
he-
forget that
but-
either.
he had some of the most memorable finishes
He did.
that this sport has ever
Yeah,
seen.
100%.
Izzy
But
is
he
not that.
also had some
Yeah.
snoozers.
Yeah, could you
Where he
Absolutely.
did nothing
But-
as well.
The thing is, he
It
had
happens.
those snoozers, and then he had a couple fights where
Yeah.
they were just like he bounced back from them. They were incredibly epic.
It- Izzy,
And Izzy still
Izzy
needs
can
to
do
do
that.
that part.
I mean, Izzy
But
had
he did
a
that with Costa.
fight of the year candidate with Gastelum. Then he had a snoozer against fucking Romero. Then he wiped the floor with fucking Paulo Costa, and then he went up in
Snoozer,
weight, and then he
lost,
said,
snoozer, more
but,
snoozers than
but
nothing.
he's got to do Anderson. He's got to.
I mean, he
and the
absolutely
next time-
destroyed
Exactly.
Brunson. Like, he destroyed a bunch
That
of
was 10
people,
years
man.
ago.
when
Yeah,
he,
so
when he fight,
now he needs his Chael.
Yes, can we agree with one thing? Prime juiced up Chael Sonnen absolutely murders Adesanya, where he would
Not a
retire from the
chance.
sport in the
Oh my
cage.
God.
In the cage, that man retires.
He could have 50-1 testosterone, and he's folding
Look
like
what
a
he did
cheap
to
chair,
Anderson.
like
You
a
think-
cheap. In the second fight, he folded like a cheap chair, and that's who Chael is when he's got nothing
You know what?
going.
He threw
First
a
Anderson.
disc out. He threw a disc out when he threw that spinning back fist. So whatever happened
He got
after that
hurt.
didn't count.
Injury.
What a fraud! He's throwing a back fist
Injury.
against Anderson Silva, and then just fucking
Izzy's
Well, that
stuff.
shows,
talk
that shows
about
how
a
much
quitter.
shows how much his game evolved.
Rockhold's coming back. Weidman's coming back. Got it.
Like, Mendez is coming back. Frankie's gonna fight again.
Mendez
He's
is
gonna
coming
beat
back
Jan.
this weekend.
John Fitch is coming back. Like, just-
Dude, could you imagine for 1 second if Koscheck went up to 185 and fought Adesanya?
Man.
Yes, I can. Yes,
Could you
That
even-
eye is gonna get knocked to fucking
Could
straight.
you even imagine?
Koscheck would look like a jockey on a horse. He'd
I'll
be
say
on that
this.
dude's back.
I hate Kamzat Russian number 7. He absolutely obliterates Izzy. Not competitive.
Oh, God.
Not competitive. Any grappler is fucking Izzy. Just fucking him.
Man, Now,
Fuck that
now,
guy.
Now Lance is loving the greatest ever. That's his
I'll
boy
take a
now.
semi-decent grappler over Izzy. He just hasn't fought one yet.
And he
I
might
mean,
not ever.
the guy's
Might not.
pretty. He's pretty damn tough to get and hold down at 185.
I think he's gonna fight Cannonier, and then he's gonna go up to 205 again and try to win the belt
All right.
there.
Brad, stick with me for a second. Bo Nickel versus Adesanya next week. Who wins?
Obviously, Bo. Obviously.
You think Bo's going to stop that takedown? Or is he going to stop the Bo takedown?
Wes,
Oh,
how
man.
many bows do you know that lose? Come on.
Bo Nickel
damn.
would absolutely obliterate Adesanya tomorrow.
Bo's
Adesanya's
doing
gonna go up to
pretty
205,
well.
and then he doesn't have to face any grapplers again, and it's gonna be awesome.
What if Bader comes back?
I know. He looked good in that 5-rounder, that's for sure.
Hey, we cashed.
I hope Adesanya fights Glover.
It won't
that would
happen.
be-
It'll be
that would
too.
be glorious.
Glover's gonna be drinking a beer in a rocking chair when that.
Could you
happens.
imagine what Paul the Bear Jew Craig would do to Adesanya if he came in that weight class? Woo!
Who's he fighting next?
He's got to fight. It's someone that's
Oh, Krylov. That's
Yeah.
who he's fighting. Good stuff.
Munich. All right, we'll quickly go through the rest. Sorry about that. Bobby Green defeated Nasrat Haqparast. Everyone thinks he's fucking Muhammad Ali
Bobby
now.
Green's
Bobby
GOAT.
Green.
He's easy top
Oh,
5
oh,
or top
oh.
5 lightweight.
Oh, we just gonna skip over Goat Arlovski and our
We already talked
decision
about
bet?
it. We said he was the boringest fighter of all time, and
No,
that's
you
how
Yeah,
we
did.
Lance
did.
talked about-
You
Lance
did.
talked
You
about
talked
it.
about Arlovski.
Plenty.
I think Brad had a few words for Goat Arlovski and the decision
Boring.
machine.
I mean, what was the? Did they publish the paydays for this one? Because they weren't in Nevada.
They don't do that shit
500K.
anymore.
He makes like 500K a fight.
I know
He's-
it's incredible.
He's still like 250 or something like that.
He's living the life. I mean, every MMA fighter should aspire to be Andrei Arlovski.
No argument. As a fan, don't like it.
I mean,
You have to bet plus money on these decisions. Then it's
Exactly.
like
Still would hate it.
feels great.
no, you wouldn't. You'd hate it a lot less.
lot of
Maybe
wins. Lot
Just
of
like the
those
women
wins.
overs I used to bet. I'd bet it because like either a woman gets finished or I make some money. So at least I'm hedging my bets there.
Anyway,
Wow. You
moving up
just
to Bobby Green.
like abusing women, huh? Or
Yep.
seeing women abused. Not
There
not,
we go, Brad. We got
John
there.
does
We
not
got there.
abuse women. He just
Sometimes.
likes to see them abused on TV.
Sometimes. So on to
So
Bobby
that's it.
Green. Everyone's favorite fighter, Bobby Green.
Top-
Bobby
top
Green, with that win, moves to 0 ranked wins in his career. He now is at 0 ranked wins in his whole career. He did break against the realtor his decision streak at 11, and now he's getting a fucking fight versus a top 5 guy. So, congrats,
And he's
Bobby
never
Green.
going to have a ranked win because he's going to lose
Literally
this and then he's
never.
going to fight an unranked person after this.
It's almost impressive for a guy to be in the UFC for this long, like 10 years or whatever, basically be 25th, let's say somewhere around there, and his entire career never beat a ranked fighter. I was saying before the show, Bobby Green's best win ever is Nasrat Haqparast. That's his best win of all time. Fucking swallow that, Bobby.
Lance loves him, somebody Green, as you
Oh, he loves him. Number
I
one
don't
fan.
dislike him. During the fight, I was watching with my dad, and I was like, I like watching Bobby Green fight, but I hate when people act like he's good. I never said he was boring. You misinterpreted that. I said he sucks, and I said he objectively sucks. It's not a subjective argument. It's
We're not
factual
talking
that
about Bobby Green anymore.
Sucks.
We're going to
Factual.
talk about him next week, so we can talk more about him then.
I will talk about
Also-
that line's gonna be like fucking minus 800.
Are
Yep.
you-
Also, Josh.
Are you gonna
Josh
bet
Thompson is
Bobby
his best
Green?
win.
No,
Are you get y'all? You're not, so. I might have to take some
that
big
is
dog money
yeah,
against.
complete waste of money.
I will take mac and cheese probably inside. He's going to get us up.
Yes. Yes.
You know what?
All right.
I'm going to take,
Let me see that
just
number.
so Lance can be really wrong, I'm going to take Bobby Green in round 4.
At plus 3
Yeah,
or
but Bobby Green's
3,500.
gonna finish an active fighter who's not a realtor. Good one.
I know, it's great.
Good one. All right, we got to go through these quick. We're behind, but this has been fun. Renato Moicano defeated Alex Hernandez by submission. I was off on this one. I had Hernandez here. I thought after that first round that Hernandez was going to start cruising, honestly. Like, he started stuffing the takedowns. He got up. He was landing some shots. Moicano was breathing pretty heavy, looked a little tired, and then just I didn't see Moicano catching him and just fucking flooring him like that. But that's a good win.
Yeah,
that was awesome. I mean,
Moicano,
he looked like Hernandez kind of figured it out in the last couple of minutes of the first round, but man, in the pocket, Moicano's striking was absolutely landing on him every time. Yeah, he's looked good.
I know Hernandez isn't some kind of world beater, but I thought Moicano looked, because I think it was a couple years ago we were all kind of like, oh, is Moicano as good as we thought? I don't think so, but like he seems to be getting better.
Yeah, that chin.
His chin held up.
That chin's the only liability. He's got a lot of skills. If it's not,
yeah, he looks like a fucking top fiver if he's like the chin holds.
He's going insane. Wild on the mic after, which you don't really expect from that dude.
Yeah, that was a good interview. Sean, you're missing all these comments. Do I have to read them? Do you put them on the screen? I don't know how.
This one?
We're on it.
I'm pretty sure you like that one. Yeah.
We're on a new platform this week, folks.
Yeah, not that one. We got Hyper Blue. Man, I missed Sean's movie breakdowns.
Oh, these are old. I sort of assumed you've read these already.
Yeah, but I can't just read all the comments. I think the whole purpose of the system is you click on it so people see it.
Right. Yeah.
I try to keep it relevant.
Hernandez is going to struggle against anybody that's willing to throw back at him.
He's a can crusher.
He's a front
runner. Fucks up shitty guys, and he doesn't win against decent fighters.
The old Dr. Endine, right on point as always.
That's right.
Yep. All right. Middleweight, Jared Cannonier defeated Derek Brunson knockout. I had Cannonier inside on this one, even through the first round. You could see just the life and energy draining out of Derek Brunson, even when he was in a dominant position. I thought Cannonier's interview was great after. That's what you fucking do, like get in Dana's face. Basically, I'm taking that next fight, but I don't know. I don't know how much of a chance he has against Adesanya. Obviously, like we'll see, but good win, and he did what he had to. It's good to see a guy like that who's, he's had an interesting career from the heavyweight and losing a bunch of fights to coming back, and I think he's like 37-38 and finally getting the title shot. Like, it's got some Glover on him. I don't know. We'll see. How great would it be if Cannonier fucking knocked out Adesanya, though? I mean, that would be not obviously to the Do Bronx Glover level, but that'd be pretty up there as hilarious and awesome.
Yeah, I think a lot of us have won some money on the Crystal Man.
Yeah. QAnon.
This was always gonna be how it goes. Like, Brunson is takedown or bust, and that gas is on empty really quick. I mean, even when he fought Till, like Till fucking kind of had a resurgence in like round 4, I think, in that fight. Like, that's not a good look. So I mean, Cannonier was gonna be the play.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
And then against Izzy, huh?
What's that?
Plus 250 against Izzy.
Who is?
Cannonier.
It'll be bigger than that.
But inside distance, round 1, it'll be huge. It's going to be beautiful.
There you go. All right. And then sadly, the last fight we'll talk about tonight, Tai Tuivasa proves he's top 5 in the division.
Get the fuck out of here. He is not.
You know who?
He wasn't, and he is not. I don't care what it says.
I think he's third. My favorite part of the new rankings was it was good to see Curtis Blades jump Derrick Lewis in the rankings. If only they could fight to prove who the best fighter is. That would be great. Maybe they'll fight one day. Man, you don't see, like, there was 2 or 3 moments in that fight where anyone I've ever seen fight Derrick Lewis dies. The shots he landed, the couple shots he landed, those were fight ending. That guy, that might be the best chin I've ever seen. Not just because it wasn't like the flushest shots I've ever seen, but when guys get hit like that from Derrick Lewis, they go to sleep. They just do. And then right before Lewis got finished, like, he had that flush. Like, I thought that was going to be a fight-ending sequence. Like, I got to give it to Tuivasa. This guy is marketable as shit. People keep talking about he should get the title shot. Like, don't waste what he's doing right now. Like, don't do that. Give him another
Set
striker.
up against some bums that he can knock out.
I want him to fight shitty fighters.
Yeah. Well, and now he can't fight shitty fighters per se, but I don't think he should get a title shot right now. This is a guy that can main event a fight night card right now. And, you know, as much as I hated seeing my boy Derrick Lewis go down, it's Wes's fault, by the way. I like Tuivasa, man. Like, say what you want about the guy, but he is an impressive streak he is on right now.
Yep. Anytime Derrick Lewis is going to fight a guy with a chin and knockout power, I will throw a dart on that guy because nobody wants to exchange with fucking Derrick Lewis for good reason. But if you have a stupid chin, like very few do, and have some power, you can crack him back. He doesn't like to be hit that much.
He doesn't. He's always been like that. Like,
yeah.
Derrick Lewis engaged more in that fight than I don't
got two takedowns.
Probably any fight he's ever been in. Like he went for it. Like
that's where he fucked up.
It's because he was fighting
for takedowns.
It's because he was fighting in Houston, but he shouldn't fight in Houston because he always fucking loses there. Man, I went in there though. Like Greg Hardy rocked Tuivasa before he got knocked out. Like he fucking hurt him.
And like, put him out though.
If Greg Hardy can hurt this guy, if fucking Derrick Lewis is landing and Manny
Lewis hurt him,
that was
he did hurt him.
Yeah. I think
he got him a little bit. Yeah.
There's two ways to kind of look at a chin to me. There's the chin where you take a shot and you don't react. Those kind of guys, right? You just take whatever. It's no fucking big deal. And then you got guys like Frankie Edgar, right? The recovery chins, like Frankie in the Maynard fights and all those other fights where he's basically 6 feet under and is like, but I'm back. Like that's Tuivasa because Tuivasa was hurt bad. Like early on against the fence, one of the shots Derrick Lewis hit against the fence, like that was just a fight-ending shot. There's no doubt about it. And this motherfucker just gets up. Like props to him. Like I don't know who he'll fight next, but I mean he's on the brink of like I'm not gonna say like superstar or anything like that, but he's on the brink of probably with how the UFC is nowadays. He's probably gonna be like a top 10, 15 most fighter in the UFC, which is insane.
Did you see this fucking bum ass Dana White saying he did a shoey with him after the fight?
Fake shoey.
It was a fucking like plastic fucking shoe with a fucking tip on it and shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, get the fuck out of here, man. No, I wouldn't be doing that shit myself. Don't get me wrong, but don't act like I'm back here doing shoeys with my new money train. I'm gonna pay $50K. You know.
Top 5 is over, Lance. Tuivasa was ranked what? Fucking 10th, 11th. That shit's over.
I just checked the rankings. Tuivasa is ranked number 3rd.
Yeah,
it was my fault, man. In no world should I ever thought I was going back to back on winning Derrick Lewis fights.
Lewis's greatness was because of Wes's doubt.
Same with Izzy.
Gotta hold steady. You gotta hold steady, Wes.
I mean, there's a reason that those CCIR rompers got their way to the Colvin residence.
Yeah. I still got a pick from my boy Matty. Those were pretty fucking cool. I got a good laugh.
Yep. Well, that'll do it for 271. I actually thought the prelims were pretty bad. The main card was great. I think I just forgot it was great because the main event just wiped my fucking memory of fun. But the first 4 fights in the main card were pretty good.
Decision. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that main event was 25 minutes of pure fucking torture. Torture. I should have rewatched the fucking Motta Fieri fight. At least it was only 15 minutes. You can make an argument the Motta Fieri fight was better because it was 10 minutes less.
All right, let's move on to something that's going to be way better. Oh, wait.
No. I don't even know who some of these people are. The Wikipedia ratio is like 40% on this thing. We had to These are not good. All right, let's jump in though. We'll chart in the bantamweight division. 2 people we have not heard of. Chad Anheliger versus Jesse Strader. I believe these are men.
This is the hilarious thing. Canadian number 69.
Hilarious thing. This is not even the first fight. Supposedly, Mario Bautista is starting off this card against something called Jay Perrin.
Oh, did I know this?
That's what the Sherdog says. That this fight was lined, I think, today or yesterday.
This thing, it says Jay Perrin's like up further on the card.
Oh shit!
I
see. Yeah, so my bad. Sherdog
Don't you
is wrong.
shut your fucking mouth, Sean.
That's gonna be easy for me tonight.
You know I do so much tape study and research before these shows. I obviously am going to know the order.
This is going to be a fun one, folks. We're deep into this card.
This is good. All right, Sean, you can start with whoever these fellas are.
Yeah, I don't know who these guys are. This is so low level. I would not touch this to bet it. There's some crazy people with MMA models, I'm pretty sure, that have a hard fucking decision on this fight. So it's gonna be a banger. I'll pick the dog because I don't care.
Why not?
It works out.
Analysis. Who's not the Canadian? Let me look this up.
The Canadian or the not Canadian is Strader.
Oh, his name.
So the Canadian is like a minus 250 favorite. So we know what happens.
Yeah, well, I knew who the Canadian was. I was saying which one's a favorite. I hadn't pulled up the line yet. So Jesse Strader's kind of a must bet there. Wes, who you got?
Yeah, I don't have much on this one. I can't remember this Canadian guy for the life of me. I know I watched him fight at least once, and I have no clue who he is. This other dude got knocked the fuck out by Montel Jackson, so I'll probably pick the dog in Toutmaster, and that's about all I want with this fight.
I think I'm gonna have to pick the Canadian.
Oh,
yeah, it's bad. The other guy, he's only lost to dudes that are in the UFC, but like he does not look good when he loses and gets any sort of offense put on him. So I think that Anheliger, whatever his name is, he looked tough enough to put away on his Contender Series fight. That I think he sticks around and gets some shots in on Stradler and gets him out of there.
Yeah, I think I'm not going to bet on this, obviously, but for Toutmaster and a pick, I think I actually have to go with the Canadian fella. I know, weird. Strader, he just looks like a doofus. I think it would be the first thing I would start with. He just looks like a doofus, and he got knocked out by two guys who are not good at fighting. So I think that'll be good. We'll end there. All right, let's move now to, God damn it, women's strawweight division.
That's not big enough.
Diana Belbiţă versus Gloria De Paula. You, Sean? Belbiţă cheese?
a combined 1-4 in the UFC. These two combatants. I will take the cheese because she throws more.
Man, card. Just starting off with just bangers. Wes?
Bangers.
Yeah, I'm gonna take cheese as well. The snake volume, shitty decision, one way or the other. I'll take the cheese. I got nothing on this fight.
Brad, I assume you got a pretty good breakdown.
This is the cheese that comes in like those little slices, right? Is that the one?
Yeah, individually wrapped.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Nice. Yeah, we'll go
I thought
with
that was Kraft.
It's a good snack.
I thought Velveeta's the block.
Velveeta
The big block.
They have that, and they have the single slices. Yeah.
I always remember Kraft singles.
Yeah.
Yep.
They Kraft and Velveeta,
Individually plastic wrapped.
Yeah. Good for the laying at the bottom of the ocean for the next 50 years.
I remember those videos of the Kraft ones.
The breakfast biscuits.
Breakfast biscuits. I don't think we have this. I remember the videos where people would try to. The Kraft cheese is so fake you can't burn it.
Yeah.
It just doesn't burn.
Not a good look.
It's not good. All right. Who's next? Brad, did you talk about this? Are we good? Brad.
I'm saying we're good. We can go.
The cheese slice breakdown was better.
The cheese.
Right.
That's what you need to know.
I don't care about this fight. All right. Featherweight division. I wish they could just move this Jessica Rose Clark fight back one so I could just skip the first 3 fights of the card. But they are not going to do that, apparently. So featherweight division, Chad Skelly versus Mark Striegl. You, Sean.
under normal circumstances, if Chaz Skelly was fighting, every at least 6 months, maybe 9 months, I think I would play him here. It's been 2.5 months, or 2.5 years, sorry, since he fought. He had that fucking weird situation where he made the walk and then still couldn't even fucking fight. Striegl is not good. How bad is he? It's hard to tell based on the one fight he had. I would hope Skelly's going to be able to get this to the ground, and then he should be able to win. Just trusting a 36-year-old that looks like Chaz Skelly that hasn't fought in 2.5 years is a bit tough for me. So I'm going to pass on a bet, but I think he wins and hopefully can take this guy out.
Wes?
Yeah, man, I really want to like Skelly in this fight. I think under normal circumstances, like Sean said, this would be at least $1 higher on him here. Man, that 2.5 year layoff is just worrisome. I just think he's the better guy, though. I think he can get this to the mat and maybe he can get a sub in this fight. I haven't looked at what the sub line is, but I'll probably end up with something on Skelly. I just think he's the way better guy. Just the layoff worries me a bit.
Brad?
Anywhere from plus 150 to 225.
Yeah,
on what?
It's not bad. Sub.
Just in general.
That's what I'm thinking in this one as well. No, Skelly sub. Yeah. I'm digging the food theme on this card. We got the Belbiţă, we got the Strudel, and then in the next fight we got the Egger. Like, come on. Somebody's fucking with me, right?
Perfect. Somebody lined this shit up
Oh
with
my
a sense of
God.
humor.
Yeah, I think this could be a lot tougher for Chaz Skelly. This is a pretty decent matchup for him, and that's why I'm probably going to end up with a bet on him. I just think that the Strudel's going to come out there and let him grapple because that's what he wants to do in his fights as well. And Skelly's going to beat most guys. Even after a couple of years off, I think he's fine to get in there and out-grapple some guy who has been pretty fun and reliable on the regional circuit forever, but has also been out-grappled when he tries to take a step up.
Yeah, I like Skelly here a good bit. I think you got two mostly jiu-jitsu type guys, but one of them is a way, way, way better wrestler. And if I got two grapplers or jiu-jitsu guys, I'm going to take the guy who's a much better wrestler. And Skelly's got some sneaky subs. Like he's pulled up some weird subs. He's got a good Dars. He's got some good chokes. And I think just being the way, way better wrestler, I also think he's going to be a lot stronger in this fight once it hits the mat, just with his grappling and everything else. And we look at Skelly's layoff, concerning, obviously, but Striegl also is in the midst of a pretty big layoff as well. And at least we know Skelly has some talent. We've seen him do Striegl so much. He hasn't won a fight in almost 4 years. So we can look at Skelly's layoff views, but the better wrestler, the better sub guy, the more talented guy, the guy with the experience, not really fighting for his career. He's getting close to retirement anyway. Minus 200, I think, is actually a steal. So I will have something on Chaz Skelly. I'll probably have him in a parlay. But yeah, I like Chaz in this one a good bit, despite the age and the layoff. All right, women's bantamweight division. Let's do it again. Jessica Rose Clark versus Stephanie Egger. Yeah, new Sean.
Yeah. Jessica Rose Clark should win, but both these ladies don't mind grappling, and as we've seen in a lot of MMA, women's MMA recently, dumb shit happens when grappling is involved. Some sub armbar from guard and all kinds of weird shit. So I'm not betting Clark. I'll pick her to get the win, but I don't know. It's tough to trust a woman of this talent.
Wes?
Yeah, I'm gonna pick Clark to probably get a decision here, but I want nothing to do with this fight. Another one, just
Brad?
touch.
I'll take Clark in Toutmaster, but this will be a dog walk or a shower or something productive.
Yeah, definitely. I got absolutely fucking nothing. I don't care. Have we thought in the future for Toutmaster maybe varying up multipliers, like women's fights only count 25%? Because think of it this way: let's say you call a pick'em fight in the main event, huge fight, you pick it, you get a win, you get 1 point. That counts the same as Stephanie Egger.
Yeah, exactly.
This thing.
Yep. That's the whole point of Toutmaster.
That's the whole point. We gotta have a lot of luck involved in Toutmaster, not just skill.
No. It's all skill. It's all skill. You just gotta dig into the tape, bro.
You gotta roll your sleeves up, get your notepad out, and just really dig into that tape.
You're complaining, but all four of us we're inside top 22 in Toutmaster, and three of us are top.
Most
8.
of us are, yeah.
I'm slipping, baby.
You're holding us back. Come on.
I'm a month away from quitting.
Hey, I've made it through a month and a half. I think I'm gonna make it through at least 2 months, guys. I'm optimistic.
The biggest
that over's gonna hit.
The biggest Saeed bet of Toutmaster is who is going to quit first, me or Brad. And then the second is who's gonna accidentally miss a card, and then after they miss a card, how many weeks will they put in picks before they quit? So all that stuff going on. Oh God, fuck. All right, let's now move on to a pretty decent fight. Gabriel Benítez, David Onama, featherweight division. You, Sean.
I think this is a good test. I'm not sure how much we can take out of the Mason Jones fight that Onama had. I know he was able to clip Mason Jones a lot more than he probably should have, but I think that's just Mason Jones. He doesn't have very good striking defense. A lot of these kind of guys with a little bit of hype behind them usually have the offense to show that, and then their defense kind of lags. Benítez is kind of a tough out. I think he's a very good test for fighters because he's really only losing to pretty good guys. The Omar Morales loss isn't great. Billy Q obviously styled on him, but I think that was a nice comeback fight from Billy Q. I just think it's worth a shot on Benítez to find out, if Onama actually has some hype behind him. I think Benítez can strike and make it a close fight, and maybe we get a decision on the cards. So I took a unit on him at plus 144, so I think he can win a close fight.
Brad, we have a live line for me quitting, me versus you quitting. Apparently, me quitting first, minus 300. I think you have quit before me almost every year.
Yes,
Brad's still in contention.
Wrong fighter favored right there.
Oh, Brad's still in contention though. Does Brad fall off so quick that
I'm much more likely to miss a card by accident and then quit.
Definitely.
Yeah,
that's why you gotta do your tape study. You gotta do your work.
Yeah,
Get all the angles here.
Yeah, I only quit when I'm basically I got no chance. Absolutely no chance. That's when I quit. Brad usually just accidentally quits a few times, and then he just quits for good. Mine's a mathematical equation.
Tries to whatever you need to tell yourself, Lance.
Yeah,
mine is going to happen during the summer. We're going to have some people over for a barbecue. I'm just going to get shit-faced during the day and forget to put my picks in.
Wes will remind me when we're in Vegas.
Yeah, well, and I'll remind you guys now because I'm running it. So
yeah,
I think it's going to be a good year for you guys. I think you'll get pretty close.
We should get some kind of prize.
One on both of us doing all of them. Oh,
they'll always do it. Yeah, we're the quitters, Brad.
No, that's what I'm saying. What's the line on both of us doing all of the cards?
That depends. Am I going to remind you guys? Because I could choose not to remind you guys, and I would win that bet, I think, fairly easily at some point.
In fairness, the only thing you've had to remind me of so far is the one, weird
That's
one
fair.
that happened.
Last week was fuckery. Yeah.
I've just been, really an honor student. So
Look out.
we'll have to meet up. You know, I see Wes at least a couple times a year. I haven't seen you guys in forever. Maybe if we all do our Tout Master picks, we'll meet up somewhere at the end of the year. It's like a reward.
Here we go.
You guys got. I'm not going to Canada though. I got nothing for it. You guys got to come here.
Like usual. I mean, it's cheaper for us to go to you than would be to like me to fly to Brad or Brad to fly to me.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Plus, who wants to
dumb.
go to Canada?
Exactly. Freedom.
Yeah. All right. Has anyone?
It's Brad's turn to break down, or sorry, Wes's turn to break down.
Wes, yeah.
Is it Benítez?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of with Sean on this one. I think this is a spot with a really tough dude at some plus money that I think we'll find out if Onama is decent or not. I like Benítez in this spot as well at the price. I think he could definitely get a couple rounds here. So taking a small shot on Benítez here at the plus money.
Brad.
Yeah, I kind of like Onama in this one, and I know that he hasn't really done enough to earn being a favorite here. But I like what I've seen. Short notice, higher weight class against a better guy than Benítez is. Frankly, as hittable as Mason Jones is, I still think that he's better than Benítez. Benítez is one of those guys where the dudes that he's lost to are or dudes that he's lost to are actually good, and the guys that he's beaten are like way down bottom of the barrel. So it comes down where you think he fits in between those, and I think he's closer to the bottom guys than he is to the top guys, and I think Onama's all right. I think he's probably going to clip Benítez at some point and get him out of there.
Yeah, I don't get the Onama love. Like, Mason Jones is still a young prospect, and Onama looked okay in a loss to him. And that makes him, like, super hyped up. Like, we would have thought he fought a close fight with John Jones or something based on kind of everyone's reaction here. Benítez has been around for a while, and I think when you look at all his fights, like, in hindsight, kind of looking at it, he beats the guys he should, and guys who are much better than him. And I think that's most of his career. And I'm just not ready to say Onama's good in any way. I think Benítez he's very durable. He's very tough. He's going to push the pace. He throws his leg kicks, all that stuff. And I think he's just going to be a little bit better everywhere. And I think at plus, what is it, like 145, 140, something like that? I haven't looked in a bit. But I think him as a dog was kind of surprising for me. So I definitely like Benítez in this fight. All right, let's move on now to what?
It's coming down. Plus 135, plus 130, lower than that now.
Well, I better bet it on Friday like I always do. All right, bantamweight division: Mario Bautista versus Jay Perrin. What? Yeah, Sean, this gonna suck so bad.
It is rough, man. I don't have much in this fight. Once again, Bautista, obviously the more known commodity. It's a bit of a pretty big price on him. There's no chance I would put money on Jay Perrin, but what is it now? Like minus 240, 250? Seems kind of crazy. Like, Bautista's okay, but could we see him get out wrestled here? It's possible.
I don't know who Jay Perrin is, so I don't know. Wes?
He fought on Contender Series and lost.
That's a good sign.
Yeah, I don't really have much on this fight. I think Bautista probably wins here. He's got a couple okay wins before his last fight, but man, that price is just a little too crazy. Just another pass for me, man. I have no idea.
Lab guy, Brad.
I was thinking that I was going to take Bautista against Taha, but man, I remember those trips that my parents and I used to take across the border when I was young to Freedom Land. And we used to go to Buffalo, and we used to visit the J.C. Perrin there and get all sorts of nice clothes. It was a good place to shop. It brings back fond memories, and I think I'm going to take him as a dog here. He's got a lot of like split decision losses, so I feel like he's in close fights, and he's going to be plus 300 probably by the time the fight rolls around. So J.C. Perrin all the way, baby.
Yeah, I'll take Mario Bautista, but I mean, there's who fucking knows. I'll force bets like anyone, but there's some fights I just can't do it. I can't get in there. But I will pick Mario Bautista, but there's just absolutely no confidence there. All right, God, fuck. Usually it's just not getting better. Jonathan Pearce is on the main event of the prelims, as nerd Twitter people like to say. Yay, Jonathan Pearce versus Christian Rodriguez, just not good. Or Nushan?
Was this the original matchup? I'm just checking.
I don't think so. I think it's short. I think Rodriguez is short notice,
No,
isn't he?
he was supposed to fight Austin
Lingo.
Austin Lingo,
Much better fight.
which is still mind-boggling. Like Jonathan Pearce,
man.
like he's better than I thought he was. I mean, I think I had very, very low expectations when you get finished by Joe Lozon in the first round, and maybe that sketchy chin just pops up randomly, but man, he puts a pace on people. He likes to grapple, and people usually melt because they can't keep up with him. So I think he beats this Christian Rodriguez guy. Bet online opened this line, and obviously people bet the shit out of it, and JSP was like minus 370, and then Dimes decided to open it up at minus 185. Not smart. So obviously I took a bunch of that, and then I hedged a bit off. So I got a pretty sweet number on JSP. I think he just puts a pace on Christian Rodriguez and gets him out of there with a sub.
Wes?
Yeah, I like Pearce in this spot too. Yeah, I think I actually think he can get a finish in this fight. I don't see any lines yet. I don't think for him inside the distance or his sub or anything like that yet. So the under's kind of intriguing.
Sub is plus 450.
Yeah, that might be something I'll sprinkle on. He does do some ground and pound and stuff, but he's got some subs. Yeah, I like Pearce inside the distance here quite a bit, so I'll be looking to get some plays in and around those props.
Brad?
I've backed Pearce in the past, but man, this just seems way too high for this guy. We've already seen that he's unreliable, and yeah, it was Joey fucking Lozon in Boston at the Park, but
You talking about a Pac?
No, I'm the Kakis.
You want a hot dog? You want a coffee? You want to go to the Pac? What do you want to do?
I want to not bet this fight because this could be dicey. I don't think Rodriguez is bad, and he trains at a decent camp. There's a chance that he catches Pearce, and I am not willing to pay minus 300 or more to take that chance.
Yeah, I'm with Brad on this one. I just don't know how you can be confident in JSP at that price. I think the reason we don't think he's besides the Lozon loss, even going into that, I remember betting Lozon on that fight, even though he was washed, because this guy just looks like a fucking nerd. And when you look like that, I'm just not going to think you're going to be good. Like, you look like a loser. Like, I could take you if things get a little rough. I will say, I don't know much about Rodriguez. I have not seen him fight live. He had a couple LFA fights, but I did look at his last win. He beat a guy named Ryan McIntosh, who is 16-37, and that's how he got the call into the UFC. So they're all still lining up to get to Fight Island.
Yeah,
he's fought some bums. He's fought some bums.
You beat a vet like that. You beat a vet like that. You deserve some respect. All right.
He with over 50 fights. That's impressive.
But to Sean's point, I was trying kind of looking at the Pearce points handicap, but that's like minus 225. So I'm just
they know that he's gonna fit. I mean, him inside is like even money around there. Like you're
maybe the under here.
Yeah.
Then,
it's just a little bit juiced. I was looking at that as well.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. A little out of control to me. So yeah, it's a pass there, but I will pick JSP, just no bet. All right, let's move up to the the main card, if you want to call it that. Middleweight division, Joaquin Buckley versus Abdul Razak Alhassan. Nishan?
I like Buckley here. I think he obviously has more ways to win. I know Alhassan has almost the death touch, so Buckley will have to have his shit together. But I think he could take Alhassan down and smash him on the ground. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if that's how this fight goes. Buckley can do all right on the feet. I just think that's a lot bigger liability if he's not going for some takedowns, because Alhassan is very questionable. I know he has like a judo background, but it definitely doesn't seem to show up in MMA fights very often. So I like Buckley. I think he gets a ground and pound victory. I took him inside at plus 140 for a unit, and then I put him in a 2-unit parlay.
Wes?
Yeah, I like Buckley here as well. Just Hassan he's so inconsistent, man. Yeah, could he land something? Of course he could. I think Buckley's a little better if this hits the mat, and he's got serious power as well. He could absolutely get Hassan out of there. So I kind of like Buckley inside the distance. It's still some slight plus money right now, so I'll probably look to go that direction on the fight. Buckley inside the distance.
Brad?
This is a weird one. I think Sean might be onto something for Buckley. I think wrestling here would probably be a good idea for him, because of these two guys, I think that Alhassan is more durable, and I think Alhassan might hit harder. And he's also the guy who's, well, I guess he's not coming up a weight class now. They're both kind of welterweights that have moved up. So, man, if it's going to be on the feet, I lean towards Alhassan. If Buckley mixes in wrestling, then yeah, I can see him winning, but I think this price is a little steep. If you're expecting this to not go to decision, as everyone is, I think Alhassan's the better bet.
Yeah, I actually looked at doesn't go in this one as part of a parlay. I think Buckley is. I think he's the rightful favorite. I think the line's probably right there. I just think one of these guys is getting finished in this fight. Just how they fight and everything else. I think it's like minus 275 or something like that. So it's pretty juiced. I was looking to throw it in a parlay. But I just see one of these guys getting a finish. Alhassan's a weird case. Like, everyone knows he's got that power, but the guy's just not great. And he's definitely more of a front runner while he's completely cool quitting. So I think when you pair that with Buckley, who can get caught pretty easily and get finished, and also has pretty good power himself. So I like that doesn't go here at minus 280. For an actual pick, I will pick Buckley, though.
Remember when you guys all picked the Beverly Hills Ninja against Buckley?
I have never picked the Beverly Hills Ninja.
I'm pretty sure I bet him at by TKO in round 1, like plus 1,000 or something like that.
And honestly, he was competitive until the very end of that round. So Buckley sucks. Just saying.
It's a bit scary.
I bet on Buckley. I have bet inside the distance against the Beverly Hills guy every side of his career. every line available, I have taken.
I took Buckley inside in that one as well. It was fun.
Yeah, that guy sucks. All right, lightweight division: Jimmy fucking Miller, Jersey's own, versus Nicholas Motta. You, Sean?
So this fight was scheduled in like September of last year, and the odds were like close to even money each side. And now Miller is like a decent dog, and nothing's really happened since other than Miller got a fucking win. So I'm kind of confused why that is. It's not enough confusion for me to take Jimmy fucking Miller, because he is still 38 years old, and I know he got a knockout in his last fight, but I just think he could get bombed on by this juiced up Brazilian. So I'm staying away. I'll pick Jimmy Miller, but it might get sketchy in there with a Brazilian that might be on the yams.
Brad?
No, Wes first.
Wes.
Yeah, we haven't seen this dude in about a year and a half either, man. So there's no telling what kind of stuff he's been doing. But I think Jimmy can give me no vet lesson in this one, man. These are the type of dudes that if this guy doesn't catch Jimmy with something, I think he's gonna be all over him and he's gonna be in trouble. I know this guy's got a couple knockouts on his record, but they're against him. I mean, Joe Selecki, maybe the best guy he's knocked out. I mean, yeah, if he doesn't get Jimmy out there early, I think it's gonna be a problem for him. And Miller wears on him and gets a win here. So yeah, like plus 150, 160 now for Jimmy fucking Miller against this guy. Yeah, I'm gonna have to take some of that, man.
This line is fucking insane. I don't know how. I mean, Steve put it in the chat. Miller has like 8,000 UFC fights, and this other dude has never fought in the UFC. Also, I'm not sure if you've seen a picture of this fella, but he is most definitely not on the Brazilian. Even.
He let himself go after he got his Sherdog photo, eh? That's sad.
It's I don't know when the Sherdog photo came from, but he used to be a flyweight, or not a flyweight. He used to be a featherweight. Maybe he had muscles back when he was a featherweight. But doesn't look
Topology's keeping his shirt on. You know he's hiding some titties,
right? So he's in trouble whenever this fight happens. Early on is when Jimmy Miller's most dangerous. Jim Miller might take him down in the first round.
Watch that neck.
That neck. Right. Jimmy Miller got them hands now too.
Yeah, Newshell, what are you talking about? I've looked at all this guy's pictures.
Yeah, I think he's looking at a different fighter.
He must be.
Oh, that could be.
Yeah, this man is not. He has not been able to afford the magma as of yet.
Oh,
yeah.
Sad.
I'm bigger than him.
He get to his third UFC fight after he's really banking that 10-10 contract, and he'll have some muscles, but not right now. Yeah, I don't even need to break down the fight. Like Jim Miller's going to win this fight. I think that even if this goes late, Jim Miller can win a decision here. He's probably going to finish him because this guy's been finished in every loss in his career, even on tough. But I think Jim Miller can win it, however. So I got a couple of units on Jim Miller, plus 158 at dimes right now, and I'm going to take some inside at plus 300 as well.
Yeah, I obviously like Jersey's own Jim Miller. Been a long time favorite of mine, and I think this fight is kind of perfect for him. Like Motta looks weak, like never found a gym. Like I know, I bodied up Jim Miller in Walgreens, as we all know. But could you imagine what I would do to Motta? I mean, good God, I might throw him through the fucking cashier's table, whatever it is. I think I would have no chance to this fucking grip and forearm strength over here. This guy's a front runner. It's clear. He finished the guys he should beat and quits when he doesn't and loses fights. And I think this is the first time. Does Jim Miller have better cardio in a fight?
He might.
Oh.
He might.
It's possible. Yeah.
And I think with how Jimmy's going to grapple here, I think the one good thing about Jimmy that you'll see is he does do what he's supposed to in fights, and that doesn't always mean win, but Jimmy does what he's supposed to. In this fight, he's supposed to grapple. He's supposed to take this guy down. He's supposed to get his back, and I think he's going to do everything possible to do that. And I think that's going to wear Motta out a lot too. So I like Jimmy Miller here. I don't hate the inside play. I saw it when I looked earlier; it was only like plus 250 or so it might have moved a bit. And it's plus 155 money line, and there's a possibility here, I would say, of a decision, not likely, but I like Jimmy Miller here, and I think plus 155 is ridiculous against this kid. So, Munich. It's the Munich play. It's a lock. Fucking book it. And if you're new here, Munich is now 816-2, and every single one of those, I believe, is an underdog. So it's quite the streak we have going there.
It's amazing. We dodged a bullet last week because Thick Willie was consensus, but there was no Munich because you weren't on the show. It's amazing.
No Munich. Munich undefeated. All right. Heavyweight division, we got some big boys. Some T-shirt in the pool division, as my friend Brad would like to say. Parker Porter versus Alan Baudot. You, Sean?
Man, this is a rough card. Throwing a dart on a heavyweight with some power worked for me last week, so why wouldn't it work this week? Parker Porter hasn't really shown the ability to finish guys that are in the UFC. Maybe Alan Baudot should not be in the UFC. That's fair. Baudot has some power, and he put a beating on Nascimento in the first round. So I think both these guys throw a good amount of volume. Baudot has got some heat. I think maybe I don't know if he can stuff a takedown if the Porky one wants to get down there, but I think I took a shot on Baudot inside the distance at plus 325 for a unit. Had to do it.
Shame.
I had to use all my Tuivasa money and throw it on Baudot.
Man, Brian's just all up in my shit today in these comments. Just constantly, just getting after me. I like it. Yeah, Wes.
Yeah, I think Sean's out of his mind with this one going against the fucking.
Take the athlete.
Laying 250 on a shitty heavyweight, eh?
Take the athlete, Parker Porter.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's the opposite. I think this is even one I can't even look at no fatties because I think Porter's going to get this guy out of here. I mean, he's just an absolute bum. Like, he gets touched and this dude's dead. Yeah, I think Parker gets him out of there. Parker inside the distance is like plus 130. I'm going to take a little of that. I think there's a couple under 2.5s out there that's a little bit juicy. I think that's a really good play too. Like I don't see this fight going 12.5 minutes. So yeah, I'll probably take a little bit of the under. Porter inside the distance plus 130.
Bradley.
That was almost perfect timing because just settled. Sean said that a minus 250 heavyweight is a bad fighter. Shitty heavyweight. This man is a title contender in the best division in MMA. I don't know.
Well, yeah, the T-shirt, the T-shirt in the pool division, not in the regular one.
What do you mean the regular one? Is there another one?
Yeah, like number 3 ranked Tai Tuivasa.
Fuck me, man. Heavyweight. Ay.
The Porker, this is one where you might want to look at that minus 3.5. What's that line going on in this fight? Do we have one
Is
yet?
that out? I doubt it'll be out. Usually those aren't. Oh no, there is minus 170. Yeah, they know.
Heavyweights.
Yeah, I'll just
It's
parlay.
not. It's not really worth
I'll
saving
just parlay
it that
the Porky
much.
one.
There
I'll
you
just
go.
parlay the Porky one. It's happening.
Did you know he fought Bones?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah. He's been in there with greatness. How do you think he's become so great?
He fought John Jones in 2008.
14 years ago.
Yeah. It was his light heavyweight debut.
In heavyweight years, that's like fucking 3 years ago, bro. Like,
It's such a great thing. It says he fought John Jones, and the comments section of Wikipedia, it says light heavyweight debut, missed weight.
And then
Nice
never fought
heavyweight.
at light heavyweight ever again after John just smashed the shit out of him.
Technically, he is still not made. And then his next fight says return to heavyweight.
Yeah, because he's like, I'm not fighting John Jones, fucking weight class.
Like, sir, you weighed 229.
Can you imagine doing all that work to fight a young John Jones?
I know. And then miss weight and get knocked out. And he got knocked out in 36 seconds.
By John Jones. That's a bad look.
Not good. Man, that's great. I like him here though. French guy. Boo. So I'll take Porter here. I'll probably throw him in a parlay. I think he's just way better at this point. It's funny. He's actually, like, all jokes aside, like, with how heavyweight it is, like, this guy's gonna win some fights. Like he's gonna beat a lot of guys, and he lost the Daukaus fight, but besides running into Derrick Lewis, so I think people are legitimately scared to fight. I think Daukaus is good. He ran into a really good guy, so yeah, I like Porker here, so I'll put him in parlay. Speaking of Daukaus, the little Dukakis, Kyle Daukaus takes on Jamie Pickett. You, Sean?
I'm gonna lose a bunch of money betting on a bunch of shitty guys this week because it's pretty much inevitable on a card like this.
Dr. Ednine said this. I noticed it too. It says it didn't even lose by punches, just punch.
One punch.
They touch gloves, they circle, just threw a punch.
Poor Porker. Yeah, I'm gonna lose some money betting Jamie Pickett by TKO at plus 650 for half a unit. I know he's terrible. He's lost to very bad fighters. The Beverly Hills Ninja that we talked about earlier. He's not good. He does have a little bit of power. I'm not sold on the Dukakis, the little Dukakis. Sketchy gas tank. If Pickett can stuff some takedowns, and this is going to be on the feet, Daukaus is pretty hittable. I'm not sold. I'd like to throw away some money on Jamie Pickett in 2022, so that's what I'm going to do.
Wes?
Yeah, I think the little Dukakis does get this to the ground quite a bit, actually. And I think he probably just does a little bit of work on the ground and probably wins a shitty decision here. So Pickett's pretty tough. I don't think Dukakis has got the crazy finishing power, even as grounded pound, but I just think it's him laying on top of Pickett a lot of this fight. So I like Dukakis. I'll probably put him in a parlay.
I understand why people are taking Dukakis here, but the little Dukakis is pretty soft and very weak. I think he's going to struggle to get this one to the ground. You look at his UFC record, and he got out-cardioed by... Actually, he didn't really get out-cardioed by Brendan Allen. He actually looked all right in that fight. That was kind of where we all had hope for him.
Yeah.
And then he beat Dustin Stolfus, who sucks. And then he got out-cardioed by Phil Hawes, which is real bad. And I know people want to say that the headbutt doesn't matter and the fight shouldn't be a no contest because they kept fighting. But like he doesn't beat Kevin Holland without landing that headbutt. I don't think that happens. So I don't think that the little Dukakis is very good. I also don't think Jamie Pickett is very good. I just think there's going to be a lot of clinch in this fight, and Pickett might be the guy that's a little bit stronger and controlling that clinch and holding Dukakis up against the cage. So I don't necessarily see the TKO like Sean, but I might take a little shot on Pickett in this one.
I guess I'm a little bit of minority here. I love little Dukakis here. Jamie Pickett might be one of the least talented guys on the entire roster. If you take out heavyweight and women.
There's so many bad guys on the
talent
roster.
The talent doesn't match the
5%.
look. Can we at least say that? Like,
Yeah, he looks like
that dude looks like he should be way better.
He's
You're
not
just salty because you bet him against the Beverly Hills Ninja and somehow lost money.
He's not good. Jamie Pickett's just not good. He has some power every now and then, but he's not overly active. He doesn't throw a ton, and that power doesn't always show up. And I think here it's Daukaus is going to grapple. He's going to be a grappler in this fight. He's going to be full on grappling, and I think he's not the greatest wrestler, but he's good enough to out wrestle a guy like this. And I think Daukaus is going to push him against the cage. He's going to drag him to the ground, and I think once he gets on, they are several classes different in terms of grappling ability. And I think once Daukaus gets on, I think he passes easily, and I think he gets a neck and chokes him out. And if he doesn't in the first round, he can get him down in the second. I don't think he's going to struggle that much with the grappling aspect at all. And I don't think he's going to get hit that much because Pickett is so gun-shy. He doesn't throw very much. And you can tell from his last fight, Pickett is very scared of getting punched in the face. he just has that look and feel about him now. Where did you notice in his last fight? Like he was throwing these big combos and landing guys, and then he would almost run away. Like he had a guy like turtle up like this, and he was still running away. So I love Daukaus' fight.
Yeah, a guy that can't strike.
He was fighting a guy who can't strike last fight. Didn't matter. He's still running away. And I think the grappling is just going to be too much here. I think Daukaus gets the win. And I actually like inside the distance is what I'm looking at. I think Daukaus is going to get a choke. Pickett's been finished a couple times by sub already. Daukaus is the best submission guy he's ever faced. And it's plus 195 by submission. I'm not going to play – or by inside the distance. I'm not going to play the sub line just because I could also see him pound him out on the ground. You know, some big shots. We've seen in some of his fights, Daukaus has some good ground and pound as well. So, but Daukaus plus 195 inside the distance seemed just wrong to me. So I really like that bet. I'll be on in this fight. All right, moving on. Light heavyweight division. Johnny Walker, Jamal Hill, Bear Jew.
We're here. The main event.
I mean,
we took like 55 minutes to recap the last fight, and we're already.
This card absolutely sucks, man.
That last fight was the co-main event.
Hell yeah, it was. What more could you want, Bradley? Yeah, they're giving me minus 240, minus 250 on a guy fighting a John Kavanagh trained fighter. That's a pretty easy decision on my part. Man, that was the ghost of Johnny Walker last time against Santos. It was fucking horrible. Kavanagh's ruined him. If he decides to fight like that, Hill's gonna pick him apart from distance. I think Johnny Walker's best way to win is what it's always been: go in there and do stupid shit and throw crazy strikes. Because if you don't do that, then you're gonna lose after. So I think that's his best way to win. I think if he does that, Hill is still going to tee off on him. I like Hill here. Johnny Walker is a very flawed fighter, and he's taken game plan advice from John Kavanagh. So that's an easy one for me. So I laid it minus 140, Hill inside the distance for a unit, and then I put Hill with Buckley for 2 units plus 143.
Wes?
Yeah, I don't have much to add here. Taking your talents to John Kavanagh is not the best thing, the best decision you could probably make in your MMA career. But yeah, I think this is just a great matchup for Hill in this spot, man. Like Sean said, Johnny Walker is just such a flawed fighter. I think he eventually lands something here. I'm looking at the inside the distance as well. It's getting kind of juicy, so maybe even Hill by TKO, but that's not saving you a whole lot at this point. So I'll probably just lay it on inside the distance, and I've already put Hill in a parlay with the little Dukakis. So. I like Hill quite a bit in the spot.
Brad?
Well, the good thing to know is that you don't have to worry about hitting a Hill sub prop because the idiot's too much of an idiot to tap, or he's in there with a ref that's too much of an idiot to see that he tapped.
He tapped 7 times. The ref just didn't
mad.
Understand what was happening.
He wants to see broken bones.
I'll never forget losing that fucking bet.
That was amazing.
Despite that, and despite the hate that I have for Hill for that, even though it's not his fault, he tapped.
I actually like him a lot. He seems like a.
He does, yeah. I think that he's going to smash Johnny Walker here. I think we've seen him against decent fighters, and he's looked pretty good. And we've seen Johnny Walker against decent fighters, and if he literally does not win on the first strike that he throws, he loses. And I don't think that he's going to get Jamal out of there with the first strike that he throws. And his name is not Jamahal. That's ridiculous.
Jinder Mahal.
No one would ever name their child that.
There's no way.
His name is Jamal. And if you want to hear the true Forrester accent, you got to turn into tune into Dan Tom's podcast.
He sounds like Hank Hill saying Jamal Hill.
Oh, lock the door if you're
God.
coming in.
I like Hill here. I don't think anyone's really ever been super big on Johnny Walker, but what gave Johnny Walker excitement and a chance to win was how he was crazy. He was a fucking lunatic, and guys weren't used to it. And I think with Michael Pereira, it was I see them as they're similar but different. Like Pereira, he was getting himself in trouble by doing stupid shit. Johnny Walker was winning fights by being that way. So I kind of saw that as kind of like a flipped scenario of what they were doing. And Johnny Walker does have some talent, but I think he just fucked up right now. I don't think he knows which way to turn or which way to go. And Jamal Hill is good. And Jamal Hill is going to beat, in my opinion, a huge chunk of guys in this division when the fight's on the feet. I think his striking is good. His power is good. He's improving that. I think to beat a guy like Jamal Hill is like you want to get this fight to the ground, and that's not going to happen in this fight. So you're going to be in a kickboxing match with Jamal Hill, and the guy's got big power. He seems like he's getting better too. I know the Bear Jew thing, like that was fucking wild shit. Like the Bear, like just you got to be a dumb motherfucker to play around in that guard and get down there. You got to do everything to get away from it. But man, Jamal Hill's still talented. Like I wasn't surprised he lost to Bear Jew, obviously. But Jamal Hill's still good. I still have some faith in this guy. I think he's good in the feet, and I think it's going to be a big win for Jamal Hill. So I do think he gets a finish. I'll probably just throw him in a parlay here, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, I really like Jamal Hill to get a knockout in this fight. All right, well that'll do it for this week. We really appreciate it. We kept this around an hour and a half. I actually enjoy doing the recaps and shooting the shit more than the breakdowns personally. I'm not sure how it is
especially on
cards like
especially
this.
on a card like this.
Yeah, I'm not sure how the fans feel about it. I know, most MMA podcasts that you listen to, it's all about the breakdowns, serious and technical breakdowns. We obviously don't do that. That's not really our way. We just try to have a good time. We're a bunch of guys that watch fights every weekend and, bet on them. Luckily, MMA is really easy to win money on. You don't really have to do much. All the tape study nerds, whatever. It doesn't matter. But we really do appreciate you listening. We will be back next week to break down fucking Bobby Green in the main event. That's God. And the undercard, like the rest of the card's not good to go with Bobby Green.
You got the RoboCop, the HoboCop.
There's a few good fights, man.
I mean, Sarukian versus Alvarez is fucking great.
That's good. Yeah.
HoboCop. But, I mean, that card sucks. I like Terrence McKinney. He's fun. But this card just a giant pile of shit. I mean, the co-main to Bobby Green is a Serkinov-Turman fight.
Like 3 chick fights on this
card. That is
going to be a banger.
That is just not good.
Vegas card going to be great, though. Vegas card is going to be great.
Yeah.
Wrong.
That card's getting good, Wes. We're going to tear blondies up in their unlimited Bud Light. I remember one time I went there and you pay like $40 to see the pay-per-view and it's unlimited Bud Light. And I ended up spending $40 on beer.
Yeah. I ended up buying White Russian. That's how we went.
You end up just like standing at the urinal and they bring you another Bud Light so it can go out as quickly as it comes in.
Yeah. Just throw it right in.
It's draining.
Tap the ice.
That place isn't too bad. I've watched probably 3 or 4 pay-per-views there. They have like beer pong tables and they have a huge screen they put up for the fight. So it's not and it's in the PH. So the Rock Bar was the best because the Rock Bar was like right next to the sports book and it was actually like nice. So
Barry lent me $50 to go make a bet after I lost a bunch of shit.
Run to the sports book and run back.
That's right.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, we'll be back next week. We'll still break down the Bobby Green main event. Fucking everyone wants to fight. Okay. Well, thank you guys, and we'll see you next week.